Hey everyone, what's going on? It's Jeff here, and today I had a little, I wouldn't call it an epiphany at all. I've been thinking about this for a long time, but you know, right now is considered the best time of the year for a lot of people. You know, you got presents, you got Hanukkah, you got Christmas, you got Kwanzaa, you got all the different holidays coming together. People are supposed to be taking vacation. First day of winter right now, so if you're in the mountain states, you're going skiing or snowboarding. People are just enjoying this time of year right now. But for some reason, most people are crazy stressed out too. And entrepreneurs especially are like, okay, I've got to hit my year-end numbers. I got to get my year-end goals going. I got to get 2017 planned. I got to do all this, right? And I'd say for entrepreneurs, it's nothing new. You know, most of the time, entrepreneurs are stressed out in general just because there's 10 million things we want to get done. But we can't always get them done. And so as a result, we end up being stressed. Why is that? Why are we always stressed out? A lot of people say, well, it's just because of poor planning. And, we have a saying, piss poor planning prevents proper performance, right? Well, you don't really want that. You want to have proper planning. But how do you do that? How do you become good at planning so that you don't have to worry about always being stressed out? Well, for me, the key, first and foremost, is having clarity of vision. Having an idea of where you want to go and what you want to achieve. If you don't know where you're going, you're going to end up someplace else, as Yogi Berra says. And that's so true, because if you don't know where you want to go and you don't have any idea of what you want to achieve, then you're going to be going down the wrong path all the time, and you don't want that. So how do you actually make sure that you're staying on track? Well, the first thing you need to do is you need to write down your goals, and I'm not talking about just numbers, but what do you want to do on a daily basis? My life is crazy hectic. I have two boys that are in preschool. So at 6 a.m. we're up by, about 7:30, 7:45, we're out the door, dropping them off by 8, come back to the office and trying to get stuff done. And of course, calls start at 8 o'clock. Today, luckily, 8:30. But, when your life is always that hectic, then you have to have a plan in place for how to manage that. So you start with a vision. You get really clear on where you want to go, what your goals are. Then you move backwards from there, right? You start with the end in mind. And you really focus on planning things out in accordance with your goals, not what everybody else wants. And this is where so many people get hung up. We have these stupid notifications from Facebook, Messenger, from your text messages, your phone, Outlook. All of these notifications are pinging up all over the place. And as a result, you're always at somebody else's beck and call. You need to stop that. You need to turn it off and ignore it, because you need to focus on what's important. And you never start the morning of. You always start the day prior, at least, if not a week ago or a month ago. The people that are the most productive are the ones that start a year in advance, and they really start scripting everything out from there. So if you're not doing that, you need to. Now, for me, one of the things that I do to keep me on track is I use, if I can pull it out right now, of course I put it in my pocket that I can't get to. What I use is my handy dandy little pocket brain, is what I call it. We use these in the Navy all the time, and what this is it's simply just a little book where you write down things. And I will tell you, the best thing that I have been doing for years that really helps me is what we call the daily practice of just writing down 10 things that you want to achieve. Either they can be goals, they can be things you want to think about, they can be new ideas, right? And you're just starting to get your brain going first thing in the morning. Because if you wake up, you go straight for the coffee and you're hoping that's going to get you moving, you're just not going to get anywhere. So to be productive, you need to get your brain engaged. You need to start thinking about your goals. You need to go back and look at what your goals are. And on the first page of my book right here, page number 1, I have all of my life goals, all right? My top 10 life goals. And of course, I don't need to read them all off to you, but I've told you a few of them already. And if I ever want to achieve those, then I need to stay on track all the time. And I need to constantly be working towards those, not for somebody else, not towards somebody else's goals. So again, let's start with a vision. Where do you want to go? What are your goals? What are your life goals? Not just number wise, right? I want to go scuba diving in Belize, and I want to go scuba dive the Great Barrier Reef too. Those are some huge life goals for me. And it's not going to be one of those things where you go down for a week. I want to go down there for months and enjoy the crap out of it, right? So that takes a lot of planning. So start with life goals. Second, start with how you're going to go ahead about achieving those goals and work from the end in mind, work backwards. Start planning out, okay, what needs to happen in order to get there. Then you start looking at it a day in advance, a week in advance, a month in advance of what these things are, and you start planning out your tasks on a regular basis. And then, of course, most importantly, you need to be writing things down every single day. I use pen and paper because they've proven psychologically that pen to paper actually ingrains in your brain a lot better than typing on a keyboard or typing it on a phone, okay? And I can tell you there's a lot of truth to that. I used these back in the Navy, and this is what we lived by when it came to memorizing how to make sure the reactor plant was actually operating the proper way. Okay, what happens in the case of an emergency. And when you write it down, you ingrain it into your memory. So you need to write down 10 things every single day that you want to achieve, 10 things that you want to come up with, 10 new ideas, get your brain engaged, and then sit down and only focus on the tasks that you want to accomplish for that day. Do not let distractions rule your day. That is why people get so stressed out, is they have so many distractions and they don't accomplish what they're trying to accomplish. So I challenge you to start thinking about what your goals are, what your plan is. Are you working towards that plan every single day, or are you let other people bump in and distract you so that you can't get everything accomplished? So if that's the case, I would challenge you to go back and rethink your strategy. All right. Hopefully that's been helpful. And I know I rambled on for a little bit, but let me know what you guys think. All right. Take care.